Hello YouTube and welcome to Oh the Things You Can Cut. Today I'm going to review the Heretic Colossus. To start, let's compare this to some familiar faces. We've got the Benchmade 940 as well as a Microtech Ultratech. So the Colossus is quite a large knife, however it's not a huge knife. And some more OTF comparisons. Here I've got a direct Delta as well as a Guardian Tactical Glykon 035. What first interested me in the Colossus is this thumb slide. It is angled in a really interesting way that makes firing the knife dead on seem like it would be quite a painful thing, and it would be, especially because I've got this sore on my thumb. However, I've noticed that when I fire at an angle like this, as this slide kind of suggests just the way it's built, it's a really natural, comfortable way to push. And I discovered that with my direct Delta. I find that I often will fire not by pushing like this, but actually by slotting the corner of my thumb into the cutout here of the button to fire. And that's exactly what this curve does. It kind of just works. It matches the ergonomics of my hand. I guess it's ergonomic, and it matches the contours of my thumb in a way that I was really surprised to see. A really bold move to do that, and I think it really worked. And that's what interested me in this knife, and I think it's super successful. But since purchasing the knife, I've fallen in love with many of its other features. Let me tell you about them. First off, we've got a CPM MagnaCut blade here, and I got it with the serrations just because I don't have a lot of knives with serrations. Has a jimping on the spine. I think the jimping is a little bit weak. It doesn't provide a lot of purchase for my thumb. However, look at the size of that stock. And we'll just get a side to side on a Ultratech. You can see it's quite, it's even wider than the Ultratech stock, which is pretty hefty. How does it compare to the Guardian Tactical? Pretty close. I think the Colossus is a little bit thicker. It's a 0.14 inch thick stock on this. Another thing I love about this that really impressed me is the lockup is just incredible. There is barely any movement. You can hear a little bit. But as far as like feeling it or seeing that movement, is darn near impossible. I mentioned this in my Glykon review. I love that the play is, the front to back play is actually only if you push on the back. So if I'm cutting, I'm not generating any play whatsoever. And the side to side is so minimal, it just feels like it's a solid locked up blade. None of that OTF play, you don't really feel that with this, which I really like. I was initially skeptical of these grip inlays, and they pretty much just grip tape like you might find on a skateboard. However, they're not uncomfortable and they're not too abrasive, and they do provide a great grip. This knife just is a comfortable knife to hold. The jimping's in the right places, so it's actually helpful, and the pocket clip doesn't stick in a funny place, and this button doesn't stick in a funny place. It just all makes for a really nice knife to hold on to. You can also come with your thumb over the button and even rest part of your thumb on the button and then get up on this jimping to get some really close fine work with this clip point blade. The pocket clip is steel, so unfortunately it's not titanium. And another thing I absolutely love about this knife is the action. My issue with the Heretic Cleric was that the action was a little bit stiff, and that on top of an aggressive button made it uncomfortable to fire. And this is a very similar button, however, with much improved action. They actually utilize just four ball bearings, not in the slide, but actually in the chassis, as well as a spring, kind of like Microtech uses on their Ultratech line and like UTX 85 and those knives, to keep tension on the slide so it doesn't rattle, which is already a plus it's a 1-up on the Glykon, is my Glykon slide rattled significantly. I don't know if that's a universal thing, but I didn't appreciate it. The action, because of those ball bearings, is phenomenal, and this angled bottom half of the slide here really just makes firing and retracting this knife a breeze. It's easy, and it's fun, and it's satisfying, and it's not painful. You know, I can do it even here with my left hand, and it's a little bit trickier with the left hand, but it is still very nice. Heretic Colossus is a good looking knife. Good feeling. You can feel the quality when you handle it and fire it. I'm very, very impressed by this. And the edge came extremely sharp. Let's go ahead and put that thing to the test. Oh, the things you can cut. I call it the trusted cutting board here. Let's start with the card. Let's get some curlies off this thing. Well, I'm not getting curlies, but it's cutting easy. There's a curly. Let me get a sticky note. Those are easier to get the curlies with. Man, I'm not on my game. Let's try again. There she is. Oh, beautiful! It's a super, super sharp knife. And for that reason, I kind of regret getting the serrations, because serrations are also very sharp. However, they're serrations. They don't quite glide through paper like this point edge does. Very sharp. All right. My favorite, the foam. All right, let's just do serrations. Very effective. However, if you're cutting foam, point edge is the way to go. It just shears right through it. Oh, that's great. Alright, enough of that. Let's really put the serrations to test. I've got some paracord, and I know that's hardly a tough cutting test, but it does show the virtue of serrations. Right through it. We'll compare that to point edge. Oh, about on par. Let's go ahead and fold this and get a few. Oops, out of frame. Right through it. It's such a sharp blade. Heretic did a fantastic job on this. Alright, that's the Heretic Colossus. I love this knife. I think it is superior to the Microtech Glykon and the Microtech Scarab, both of which, I've owned the Glykon, didn't love it, and I've handled the Scarab, which I do like, but the button is just a little bit too uncomfortable for me. And the action is just, it's too hard. This is still quite a slender knife. It's got a chunky blade. It's not too huge. It still feels really good for EDC. And the blade fires and tracks so smoothly and comfortably. It's really incredible. A knife this big with a fat, chunky blade this big, you know, and so it's gonna have a tough spring. But this slide, it just carries that blade without an issue. So, highly recommend this Heretic Colossus. Thanks for tuning in, and stay tuned if you want to see more knife reviews. I try and upload every week, usually on a Monday. I've got lots of cool knives to come. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Leave any comments if you have a specific knife you'd like me to review or specific material you'd like me to cut. Thanks for watching. Bye.